Purple class, and welcome to Maths. All this week we're going to be learning about subtraction, and there are lots of different ways which you can do that. The first thing we need to do is understand the vocabulary related to subtraction, and this is new learning to us. Here is a subtraction calculation, and it says parts of subtraction, and we need to understand these words. So the first number, or the largest number, is called the minuend, and what we're subtracting is called the subtrahend. And what we're trying to work out is the difference, and we're going to try and use that vocabulary this week. Cadbury Bear has got a calculation for us. Let's read it. It says 54 subtract 22 equals. We're going to solve that in a concrete way. I'm going to use the Dean's or the base 10 which you have at home in your home learning pack, so make sure you've cut those out. I'm going to make 54. 54 has 5 tens and 4 ones. That still means 54 ones, but we've got 5 tens, 4 ones, 54. What I'm going to do is subtract the 22 by physically taking it away. So I'm going to take away 20 and 2. So I've taken away 22, and this is the answer. This is what I'm left with. This is the difference between 54 and 22. And that difference is 10, 20, 30, 32. So what I would put in there is 32. So that was a concrete way of solving a subtraction calculation. Hello Purple class, and next is the pictorial way of solving a subtraction calculation. Cadbury Bear has still got that same calculation, which says 54 subtract 22 equals. I wonder if you can remember that special vocabulary. This 54 is the minuend because it's the number with the greatest value. We're going to subtract the subtrahend, which is this number here. So this says 54 subtract 22 equals, and what we're going to end up with here is the difference. I'm going to model it to you on this whiteboard using a pictorial method. I'm going to draw the 54, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. It also has 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to subtract 22. So I need to take away 2 tens, which is that digit there, and I need to take away 2 ones. So I'm going to take away these ones here. So the answer, or the difference, which is what I'm looking for here, is what we've got left over. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. So I'm going to put that there. So the difference between 54 and 22 is 32. Hello Purple class. The next step is to solve this subtraction calculation on a number line. So all week we've had the same calculation, which says 54 subtract 22 equals. And I wonder if you can remember that special vocabulary. We've got the minuend, the number with the greatest value, and we're going to subtract the subtrahend. And what we end up with is the difference. And I'm going to model that on a whiteboard using a number line, which is what I'd like you to do today. With subtraction, when we're counting back, we always put that minuend on the right-hand side. So our minuend is 54. We're going to subtract 22, and because I've got good partitioning knowledge, I know that 22 has 2 tens. So I'm going to subtract 2 tens. So I'm going to make 2 jumps of 10. And because we've got good mental math skills, we count back in tens all the time, I know that this goes 54, 44, 34. Now I've subtracted the tens. I need to subtract 2 ones. So I'm going to make 2 jumps of 1. And we need to label what we're jumping all the time. So I'm going to put subtract 1 in my little jumps. Now I need to switch from counting back in tens to count back in ones. So I've got 34, 33, 32. So we've got to that same answer we've got all week, 32, which is the difference between 54 and 22. And the final thing, Purple class, I'm going to do is model to you this subtraction calculation on a number line, but in a slightly different way by grouping our tens and ones so we make less jumps. Join me here. Like last time, we're going to put that minuend on the right hand side, so that 54. But this time I'm going to group the tens and group the ones. So I'm going to make a big jump of 20. So subtract 20. So we know, because we practice counting in this like this way in school, we get back to 34. And then I'm going to make a jump of 2 and label it as subtracting 2, and I get back to 32. So I've solved it by partitioning the tens and the ones, but grouping them to make fewer numbers of jumps. So the difference between 54 and 22 is 32. Purple class, there is one more thing I want to show you with subtraction. On this whiteboard, I have got a subtraction calculation. It says 28 subtract 24 equals. We've still got our minuend and our subtrahend, and we're trying to work out the difference. We could solve this by taking away or by counting back, but that, however, isn't the most efficient method because these numbers are actually close together. The way we're going to solve that is by finding the difference, or actually counting on. So I'm going to show you what the difference between 28 and 24 would look like. I'm going to use Numicon today. 28 is made up of 2 tens and 8 ones, or 28 ones. That number is 28. And on the top, I'm going to put 24, our subtrahend. So 20 and 4. And using a concrete resource, I can really easily see the difference between 28 and 24 is 4. So what I've actually done is solve that calculation by finding the difference, and I could do it by also counting on and by saying, well, we've got 24, how do I get to 28? And I would count on 4 to do that. So when the numbers are close together, like 28 and 24 are, we would no longer subtract the subtrahend by taking away or counting back. We would actually work out the difference or count on.